So this is the sunGLOW by Fresh Cream Tinted Sunscreen with SPF 50 PA++++. I actually chose the shade Fair. This comes in an airless pump, which means that no product will go to waste. So I'm just going to shake it up. Well, it's not as light as I expected it to be. It's still a little bit amount of color. I think this will be a good match. It might be a little light, just tiniest bit. I think I might work with this. What I'm going to do is, for the right side of my face, I'll use a beauty blender. Then for the left side, I'll use a brush. So I have a beauty blender right here. I'm gonna blend that into my skin. I like that it's giving me a little bit of a coverage. I don't know if I prefer a beauty blender or a brush, but so far, I think the beauty blender is giving me a great blending. The cream tinted sunscreen on my right side, while my left side of my face is still bare. It has a really good coverage. I still have some redness visible, but here on the right side of my face, you can see that they covered some of the redness. So I want to see how it works with the brush. So I'm just going to apply that on the left side of my face. So far, I feel like I'm much more inclined to using a beauty blender than a brush because the brush is giving me a good blending technique, but it shows up a little bit of the texture of my skin. Compared to using a beauty blender, it just gives a smoother application. So this is the cream tinted sunscreen of Fresh sunGLOW. It's a little bit light for me, but I think I'll just mix up some of my darker tinted sunscreens just to give me a closer shade match. But so far, I think I can work with this. I mean, I'll just add some color on my face so that it will balance out everything. So I'm gonna cover up some of my dark circles and my blemishes that are still showing up because I've been having bad sinus allergies this past few days because I've been sneezing a lot and having major colds. So I'm just gonna try and cover up my dark circles a bit. So I'm just gonna color correct using my Mistine Color Correct palette. I'm just gonna take this salmon colored peach concealer, cover under my eyes. So you're probably wondering why I'm wearing a turban. I have two reasons for that. The first reason is I just got out of the shower, and the second reason is I wanted to film this video, but I had no idea what to do with my hair because it was still wet. So I just decided to wrap it up in a microfiber towel. Yes, there's a microfiber towel underneath, and just wrap it up with my scarf. It's also a good way to keep my hair out of my face because it is so hot right now. Going to apply a thicker full coverage concealer on top. So I'm just going to use again my e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. This is in the shade Light Sand. As I mentioned earlier on my previous makeup video, I put a little too much than I should have. So I'm going to try put little by little because I can always add more. I'm just putting enough to cover my under eye bags. I don't want to put too much product on my face because we are doing a summer makeup look, and since the weather is so humid. So I just want to put a little bit of concealer on my blemishes. So I'm just going to take a small concealer brush and dot it along the places that I want to cover. I'm breaking out so much right now because my period is coming up. So for today's makeup look, I'm going to try to use all drugstore products because I noticed that in most of my makeup videos, I have a mix between high-end and drugstore makeup. I just want to create a summer look using affordable products. So I'm finally done with my tinted sunscreen and my concealer, and now I'm going to move on to the brows. So my brow products for today is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I'm going to try and work with it because this is the only drugstore brow products I have on hand. I don't know what's the proper name for this. I'll just put all of the makeup products and the brands that I used in today's video in the description box below. So this is the e.l.f. Studio Brow Kit. It's like a powder plus wax. And I also have here the Lustrous Brow Gel, collaboration between Nadine Lustra and BYS Cosmetics. So my cousin gave this to me because she told me she has no idea how to use it. But surprisingly, my first brow product was actually a BYS Brow Gel. So it's kind of similar to what I used. So this is in the shade Natural Brown. So I'm gonna try and work with this two brow products and see if I can work with it. I'm just gonna brush up my brows. Let's try first this Lustrous Brow Gel. I'm gonna use the brush that comes with it. So I'm just gonna dip a little bit and just fill in my brows. It's a little dark for me, but I'm gonna try and blend it. I'm just gonna use a slanted eyebrow brush so I have more control with it. So I'm not gonna define my brows as much because I want them to look as natural as possible, and I kind of forgot how to work with a brow gel. So I'm gonna step away from the brow gel and just move on to the e.l.f. brow kit. So I think this is like a powder, so I just want to use it. I'm gonna try and lighten up my brows a bit. And usually at this stage I want to clean up a bit of my brows just so I can see the shape of my brows more clearly. And this is also a neat way to give you a much more defined brow look. Cool trick is also when you apply concealer underneath your brows, I also like to bring it down on my lid so I can prime it for my eyeshadow. I'm just darkening the tail of my brow. I'm just giving it a little bit of a arch. I like the e.l.f. brow kit here because it's a bit more forgiving than the lustrous one because that was so dark, even though I think that was the lightest shade that they have. We're done with the brows. This is what it looks like. I really tried my best, but it's gonna be as good as it gets. So we're gonna add some color to our face right now, so I just want to do a little bit of a light contouring. So I'm just gonna take the dark shade here, contour a bit here on my cheekbones and here underneath my chin. Blend that out with a contour brush. So I don't want to use any powder products for today's video because I'm trying as much as possible to create a dewy look. Use a cheek tint from Colourette Cosmetics. This is their Colourette Colourtint. This is in the shade Bree. Using a tiny bit because this is very pigmented, as you can see. And I'm just gonna apply that on the cheeks. I'm gonna apply it all the way up here on my temples. Also apply it here on the outer part of my eye. Okay, so now I'm done with my contour and my cheek tint. So I just want to bring back the glow. I'm gonna apply a highlighter. This is the one by Wet n Wild. This is their MegaGlo highlighting powder. This is in the shade Precious Petals. I'm just gonna apply a little bit here and apply where I want to glow, so here on my cheeks. So I'm applying underneath my brows. I can give myself a natural brow lift. I like applying highlighter under my nose because it gives you that snatched nose. Also applying here on the inner corner of my eye. Also apply here on the, just to make them look a little bit fuller. So this is the glow. So now I'm gonna move on to the eyeshadow. I'm gonna make it as minimal as possible but still give me that, you know, summer vibe look. So I'm gonna use again my Colourpop Cosmetics Proceed with Caution. So I'm gonna use again this shade Culture and use this as my transition shade. Apply that here to contour my eyes. And to define my eyelids a bit, I'm going to use again the Colourpop Yes Please eyeshadow palette. I want to use the shade Spoiled just to define them a bit and to give me that contoured look. I'm gonna use a glittery shadow. I'm just gonna use the shade Louis, which is like a tangerine red shimmer shade. Like that on the inner corner of my eye. I want to give my eyes a little bit of a definition, so I'm just gonna take this shade French Kiss, which is like a darker brown. Apply that here in the crease so we can deep set my eyes. I want to try something new and do like this eye trend look, like Bella Hadid inspired eye makeup look, which is called the Foxy Eyes. Like define the inner corner of my eye. So So it took a lot of tries, but I ended up using my brown eyeliner because the tip is much more defined. I'm gonna try and elongate my eyes a little bit more, just applying a line where my eye ends. And I'm not gonna apply eyeliner all the way on my eye. So I tried to finish my eyeliner off camera because it was really hard to concentrate, but this is the best that I could do. I used the Blythe eyeliner duo stamp. So I'm gonna do something different with my lashes. I'm gonna curl my lashes first. And I like to start here on the roots of my lashes, then work my way towards the tip. For my drugstore mascara, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. I always like to wiggle it out so you can get volume. And try to work it here. And you know the annoying thing is when you apply mascara and some are clumping together. I really hate that. Lash separator or comb. I just got this off Shopee. Basically what I do is just like comb out my lashes so it can separate. So again, you curl your lash very quickly. Take this lash comb, separate them. I'm just gonna apply a tiny bit on the lower part of my lash. So we're gonna move on now to the lips. This is also by sunGLOW. This is their tinted Lipscreen, and this is in the shade Very Berry, and this is what the shade looks like. It's very red, but I'm not scared by it because I know that it's gonna be like a lip balm, so it's much more lightweight. So first impression, it's not heavy on the lips, and it also gives a good tint on your lips. I also like that it's very moisturizing and it's not very sticky. It also gives off like a lip gloss vibe. Finally sealed the whole deal here on my face. I'm going to use a mist, and this is also by sunGLOW. This is their sun mist, and what I also like about this is that it has a double lid. So I'm just gonna spray this all over my face. It really smells good. It gives a fine mist. This is the complete look. 'Cause I'm a beautiful wreck, a colorful mess.